Welcome to the National Council's podcast, where we dive into credit union governance and operation essentials. I'm your host, Grant Sheehan, CEO of NCOFCU, and today we're discussing a critical topic, the importance of credit union directors understanding the profit and loss statements, or what are called P&L statements, and how these documents affect the credit union's overall health and decision-making. With me today is Michael McCormick. He is the chairman of San Diego Firefighters Federal Credit Union. And thank you for being here today, Michael.
Hey, thank you, Grant. I'm glad to talk to you about an important topic like this, and especially for anyone involved in credit union governance.
Well, good. Let's start by kicking things off. Can you explain the profit and loss statement and why it is important for credit unions?
Sure. A profit and loss statement summarizes the revenues, costs, and expenses incurred during a specific period, typically monthly, quarterly, or yearly. For credit unions, it provides insight into financial performance, profitability, and operational efficiency, all three things that all directors should be concerned about.
Well, what are some of the key components that directors should focus on in a P&L statement?
Directors should pay attention to total revenue, which includes interest income from loans and non-interest income from fees. They should also look at operating expenses and net income, comparing these totals to prior periods to identify trends.
How does understanding the P&L statement empower directors to make informed decisions?
Understanding the P&L, and in particular the trends in the P&L, allows directors to assess where the credit union stands financially, helping them make strategic decisions regarding budgeting, lending practices, and whether to invest in new services and technology. The P&L tells us how we're making money, how much we are spending to make that money, and how much we have left over to make new services and new technology part of our credit union.
Well, good. What is crucial for directors? What particular areas of the P&L or trends within the P&L statements that directors should look forward to?
Identifying these trends helps directors understand financial health over time. For example, if loan income is declining, it would prompt a review of our loan pricing and a discussion on how to better serve our members in these products. San Diego Firefighters has a strategic goal to keep non-interest income low. Therefore, we always look at other revenue components, like interest income, to improve our income stream. And we also are looking at ways how we can operate more efficiently and reduce the expenses we have within our organization.
Well, that sounds like a very good plan and a lot of planning done on your part at the San Diego Firefighters Credit Union. Let's talk about some of the directors' duties and responsibilities and liabilities out there once they become a director.
Well, directors have a fiduciary duty to ensure that the credit union is financially sound. They must review P&L statements regularly and continue to attend a professional education, such as the National Council of Firefighter Credit Unions annual conference, which is a great place to not only get information from professionals, but network with other credit union directors and staff.
What are some of the liabilities directors may face if they neglect their responsibilities?
If a director fails to act in the best interests of the credit union and doesn't oversee adequately financial reports, they could face regulatory repercussions. This might include documents of resolution or DORs. This means that the NCUA examiners will document agreements with the credit union that specifies areas of unacceptable risk. It will also outline a plan for corrective action, including who is responsible and the time frame for completion. This is something you really don't want to have happen to you as a board member.
I can understand that. Um, what are some of the best practices you would recommend for a existing credit union director and a new director when reviewing the profit and loss statements?
Well, obviously, these reviews should be on a very regular basis. At San Diego Firefighters, we do it monthly in ALCO meetings before every board meeting. But the other part is to get smarter and have better understanding of the credit union industry. And training sessions on financial literacy can also be beneficial to ensure everyone is comfortable analyzing these statements. The National Council's First Responder Credit Union Academy is a perfect source for this training. And it works best if you identify a topic to look at as a board and then discuss it at a future board meeting.
How important is it for directors to engage with management regarding the financial performance of the credit union?
Well, that's crucial, Grant. I look at the board and the staff as a team, and open dialogue between directors and management helps clarify financial data, identifies challenges, and helps them make more informed strategic decision. We find it just so vital to have collaboration and a deep understanding of the operational landscape. And this comes from these discussions between the board and staff.
Great. That's great information, especially for a new director coming on board, not to feel that he should not ask questions or he should just listen to what's being given to him. He needs to have a little background, as we've discussed previously, so that he can ask the right questions and look for the answers. What would you, let's say, what are some of the key pieces of advice you would give a director regarding the profit and loss statement and financial oversight?
Well, I would say, like you just said, Grant, don't shy away from asking questions, particularly when you're new. Your job as a director is to make decisions based on things you understand. And if you don't understand something they're talking about in the board meeting, ask questions, whether you do that during the board meeting or afterwards, talking to other board members or staff members. These financial statements can be complex, but talking to other people and asking good questions will help you get clarity about them. I know as a new director, I annoyed our staff by asking all sorts of questions about things. And it's really helped me grow as a director. Learning how to understand these numbers and engage with experts when necessary, it allows you to perform your role, which is to protect and promote the interest of your members.
Yeah, many years ago when I started in the credit union industry, I had a teacher up at Florida State, and he said, looking at financial statements is like painting by the numbers. You have a piece of paper in front of you, and it's nothing but a bunch of numbers. But as soon as you start adding the colors to these numbers and understanding what they are, the picture comes together, and you can get a better outlook on what's happening in the credit union.
Grant, can I cue in on that too? Because the paint by numbers, the colors are the trends. If you just look at a profit and loss statement by itself, well, you can see how they did in that particular period. But the more important understanding is understand what they were doing before and where they hope to go to in the future. And the profit and loss statement will allow you to understand and measure how well you're achieving the goals you've set in the credit union.
Absolutely. All right, our time is running a little bit low here. Is there anything else you'd like to add for our listeners about the importance of understanding these financial statements that we have discussed or haven't discussed?
Sure. Just like financial literacy is an ongoing journey. You can always learn more. And the more engaged directors are with understanding P&L statements, the better equipped they will be to make strategic decisions that ultimately benefit the credit union and its members. Continuing education is vital to becoming a better director. Once again, the First Responder Credit Union Academy is a perfect source for honing your knowledge.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your insights on the importance of understanding profit and loss statements for credit union directors. Your expertise has been absolutely invaluable guidance for our listeners, especially those in the governance roles. Before we end, how can our audience connect with you or learn more about your work at San Diego's Firefighters?
You can email me at our San Diego Firefighters homepage. At the bottom, click on the link, Ask the Board, or you can send an email to me at Grant and at the National Council website and homepage. So those will get forwarded to me, and I will engage in a discussion with you and be very happy to do so.
Well, listen, Michael, thanks again for joining us, and thank you to our listeners for turning into this episode of NCOFCU's podcast. If you found this discussion or financial oversight valuable, please subscribe for more information about the credit union community and visit our First Responders Credit Union Academy under the Education tab at www.ncofcu.org. Until then, let's continue to strengthen our credit unions and better serve our members. Again, Michael, thank you and have a good day.
Hey, Grant, thanks to you. Pleasure talking to you as always.